What's up, Clue?
Welcome.
How's it going?
Welcome. Welcome. I
So,
don't know, pretty.
you guys did end up losing 3-2, but how do you feel about all the games you played?
Um, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good game overall. It wasn't easy for either team. And it wasn't hard for either team. So.
Yeah, it definitely was. It did seem very even. I think London just has the better control maps, unfortunately. But I definitely coming into this and watching the games being played, I don't think anybody could have called the game for either one of you guys up until the very end. In terms of Junkrat, how do you manage to get tires and stuff so quickly? Like, is there a secret that you do, or do you just like wait for people to make mistakes and you just capitalize on it?
Uh, well, I don't know. I have hours of experience with Junkrat. I don't know. A lot of one thing I like my play specifically is I play for alt charge with every single one of my heroes. So I'm always playing for alt charge. Like that's my main goal is to just get tire because I know tire gives you a lot of value.
Yeah,
So a lot of times I'll just grind the tanks and help the front line out, and that's what gets me tire pretty fast.
yeah, you are one of the better Junkrats in generating tire as fast as I've seen in the league. So I would say keep that up, and I love seeing your tires. You tend to always get at least 2 or 3 people. So I will say that you are probably somebody that the rest of the league needs to look out for playing against Toronto.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, keep working on it. I'm looking forward to what you have to give us in the future weeks to come, and I'm looking forward to seeing those Junkrat kills.
All right, awesome.
All right, man. I'm gonna grab somebody else. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your night, and if you keep playing later tonight, hopefully you keep having some really good games.
Yep,
All right, man. Have a great one.
yep, you too.
This was
Okay,
Dude,
fix.
I'm.
Hey, what's up? I'm gonna pull Kid now.
No. Hi.
Hi, Kid. How's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I know you weren't there for the whole thing, but how do you feel your team felt? Team played is what I should ask.
Honestly, besides them just getting like being like totally worn out, like and tired by the last game, really
Yeah.
awesome. And honestly, the previous week we just like right before the season started, we were just having like these just huge issues. So honestly, even though we lost, it was hella close, and I've just been hearing positivity and fixes the entire way, so I can't be mad or disappointed at all.
Yeah, so what I told Clue, I also told him is that coming into this game, I don't think anybody could have called this game for either one of you guys. It came down to the wire. You guys have always seemed even in the last seasons, you guys were pretty close to each other. So we weren't expecting one person to completely run away with this, and getting to that map 5, especially for London, they've done it 2 weeks in a row now. London used to be London. I guess last season you could have called them a powerhouse, but the fact that they've gone into overtimes both weeks shows that either they're not as good as they used to be, or that people are getting much better. So,
Yeah.
if you had to pick between the two, London being worse or teams getting better, which one do you think would be on that
Honestly,
list?
definitely teams getting better. And I mean, while the last map was kind of just a misplay for us, honestly, super solid. It was fun, and that's kind of what TD cares about more than anything is enjoying the game first, and because at that point, we can improve and do stuff as a team later.
Yeah.
So
Going into next week, first off, I haven't looked at the schedule. Who do you guys play next week?
I have to look.
Yes, that's right. If you don't know right now, we'll answer that question.
I have it
We'll
pulled
answer
up.
that
No,
question next
no,
week.
I have it pulled up. It's
right.
MYXL.
Oh, okay. So going up against NYXL, how do you think you'll fare?
Honestly, they were really strong last season. I haven't seen them make a lot of changes to their roster, so it's going to be pretty tough. But honestly, with how we've improved and all the different things we're trying, like you saw the icon wall thing, like that was a fresh idea. We literally practiced like one day of.
Yeah, I
like,
love seeing the
Thursday.
pulled pork combo that you guys like to roll, the Orisa Hog. Though unfortunately,
No, not that part. The Doomfist Lucio. We
Oh,
literally
yeah.
practiced that one day, my dude.
I will say that having a Doomfist in the league, especially at the skill level we play around, Doomfist can do some really terrible things to people.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I watched on stream from Covert's point of view of him just abuse Omni at the end in slow mode, even though he couldn't kill him because the immortality field was up. Just watched
Yeah.
Omni get abused by a Doomfist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Now that we've kind of solved most of our issues and at least made ways to to fix the rest of them, we honestly like it doesn't really matter anymore. We don't really care. We're having fun. We're learning, and honestly, every single practice, every single day that we play is just another day we get better. So I'm real happy.
All right, man. Thanks for sticking around for the interview. I'm just asking questions to you guys, and I'm asking questions
Yeah.
to London. I think I got 2 from your side. Who was leading your team at the very start? Because I know you weren't here for the first 2 maps. Was that Leo?
Yeah, Leo. No, honestly, Leo and Clue are amazing captains. I can't stress that enough. Like, it's awesome. Leo probably does a little bit more outside a game, but inside a game, Clue's probably like that shot caller. But honestly, I really can't complain. They're both.
Hey, kid.
Yeah.
Kid.
Anna, you'll get your
Stop.
turn. Fuck off.
No, I was just coming here to say good game.
Yeah, good games, dude.
I really enjoyed that game, and watching it was even better.
Bro, it was so much fun. Thank you. That was great.
And you didn't use a sub, just to make sure I post the score and it's not
No,
wrong.
there's no subs use at all from either team.
Okay, I posted the score.
All right.
Fucking outhouse asked that question.
Kid, so I really don't have any more questions to ask you, and since Anna's here, I'm gonna move over to asking Anna questions. So, you already kind of answered the question, but you had map bans going into this series, and you got into the very last map because Anna did. Anna had map bans.
Oh yeah.
Anna himself was map banned for basically 2 games up until the end. So. Anna, going into point 5, knowing that overtime was what was going to win it for your team, knowing that you were map banned, did you feel that even without you, if you, oh wow, fucking, there goes that. Oh well.
Oh, that's a new.
Get your ass back in here, boy. All right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
That question will go for another week, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Right.
Who else is waiting? I'm going to grab Omni here. So thanks, kid. Thanks for coming to answer my question.
And didn't you want to talk to Leo?
I'll talk to Leo here in a second, too, yeah.
Cool.
I'll talk to Omni first. That way I get at least somebody from London, and it's not completely Toronto-sided.
Before they dip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to pull in Omni, and thanks a lot, kid, for answering my questions.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Omni, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, so knowing that Anna had been map banned going into this series, starting the games beforehand, did you feel that even without him, your team would have been able to do well?
Honestly, yeah, like,
So you don't consider Anna that much of a carry?
I don't well, I wouldn't consider anyone on the team to be much of a, like, hard carry.
Okay.
But, I would say that, like, everyone pretty much did their job like they were supposed to. And we did the best with what we had while he was gone.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. So, you mainly played support all 5 games, if I'm mistaken. Am I right
Yes.
on that? Okay. So,
Mhm.
I saw you play BAP and I saw you play Lucio. Out of the 2, which do you think you play better, and which do you think teams should look out for in the future if you play them?
I mean, honestly, I'm more of like a flex support.
Okay, so you can
like,
play
I
anything,
play
is what
pretty
you're
much-
saying.
I play mostly BAP and Lucio, but a bit of Mercy.
Okay.
But yeah, like I wouldn't say there's anything particular to look out for.
So you're gonna say you're more well-rounded, so they should just look out for you in general rather than being on a specific hero.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more painful than I put it, but you know, I'm usually I flex, so I'll pick whoever. If they want me to swap, I'll swap to someone.
All right.
You know, whatever's needed for the situation.
All right, perfect. So, and I have like 2 like fun questions just to wrap up for you. One is, how do you say that man's name? I call him Stormgig on stream, but I don't know how to say his tag at all. Your tank on last map, and he was playing basically anything the rest of the series.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his battle tag, and I just call him Stormgig.
I think it's Stormgig without the T in it.
Yeah, there's no T, which is why I just put that in there. It seems
Yeah.
like it's easier to say.
Yeah.
What do you guys call him? Do you call him Stormgig?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
all right. I'll remember that
yeah.
for the future then. Just call him Gig or what? No nickname?
Yeah, usually we just yell characters.
All right.
I mean, half the time that's usually how it goes.
Well, that's normally how it works. If you guys
Rock
are
and
on the
roll.
same page, it really doesn't matter. All right. And my last like fun question is, Eichenwald. Last point, you were playing BAP, and they capped right in front of you. Were you sleeping at that time? Because I saw your character on the ground. Did you get slept or shattered?
I
I think you got
wanna say
shattered.
I'm pretty sure I got shattered, but I also got hit by like every other character
Yeah,
on their
see,
team.
yeah.
So,
I was more confused as to why you were on the ground, though. The abuse I saw, because I was on camera against the...
yeah.
I was looking through the Doomfist's eyes, and he was just trying to abuse the shit out of you with
Yeah.
Immortality Field still up. I just couldn't tell if you had been slept or shattered, because you were just lying down on the ground.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a shatter.
Right. Anything you want to say for the record? Like anything you think your team did really well, or anything before we end up...
I would say one thing that we definitely talked about was ult usage, or planning ult.
Mhm.
I think it was Eichenwald last point. There was some miscommunication on who was calling ults, and somebody thought our Zarya called a grab when it was somebody else calling an ult. And
Ah.
so our Hanzo used Dragon, and then yeah, it all got I mean, things like that happen. It's
Yeah.
not unusual.
Well, see,
but,
the interesting there on the opposite side is that Toronto Covert Op tended to swap characters a lot, so he very
Mhm.
rarely ever got ults off, which was
Yeah.
very interesting to me. He never stuck on a character long enough to get ult off, and I think that may have actually hurt them in the end. Because he ended
Yeah,
up
I think-
swapping between a lot of characters who had like 70% ult charge left on like Maze and McCree's, but
Mhm.
never finished the ult.
Yeah, and I think another thing we noticed on first point of the last map we played, the name just slipped my mind, but they swapped their tank lineup I think twice,
Yeah.
like
On
2 or 3 times. So
Busan.
they never, yeah, Busan.
Yeah.
They never really got any tank ults, and I mean, you got to do what you got to do if you have to make a swap, but I think that really helped, like, give us those extra points that we needed.
Now, see, they did make a swap right after you guys managed to wipe them right before the point opened up. But you are correct. They did manage to swap tanks like a couple of times, and I think it was between Kid and Cloud who were running tank. Cloud
Yeah.
swapped to Winston and stayed on it, but Kid swapped between like Diva and then at one point also to Ball. And he
Yeah.
did end up getting mines off, but
Mhm.
against the person who he was trying to use them against, who was Anna, he just threw
Mhm.
out Immortality Field and it didn't kill him anyway. So
Yeah.
I guess you win some, you lose some based on some of the
Yeah.
decisions you make, and in the heat of the moment, and hindsight being 2020, some of them aren't the best, but at the end of the day, it was still a good 3-2 win for London.
definitely.
So
It was close.
if you
It,
had to pick an MVP for the series, who would you pick for your team?
For our team.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say Storm, who wasn't able to come to his interview.
Yeah.
Mostly because he was doing very good on support, and then went to tank and did his job there as well. Nothing against the other people who were playing his roles other times, but definitely being flexible and willing to change, especially change roles. Like, for me, I'm willing to change characters, but if you're willing to change roles and completely switch your mindset during the game, that's definitely a big asset to the team, I guess.
Oh yeah. All right. Thanks, Omni, for coming out, for talking for your team. I tried to ask Anna questions, and then he up and left on me in the middle of a question. So you're really the only person from London who gets to talk during the interview. I'm going to get like 4 people from Toronto, but only 1 person from London. So, oh well. I guess you win some, you lose some in terms of being represented there. All right. Thanks, Omni. Thanks for coming out to talk. And I'll grab one more person from Toronto, and then I think we're done with the interviews for tonight.
Gotcha.
Thanks, man, for playing the games. They were fun to watch, even more fun for me to cast and to shoutcast. And I know during Gibraltar, my stream's bitrate went to shit, so it looks pixelated as fuck. But if you go back and watch it, I think you still be able to hear it. So
yeah.
Thanks, man. Have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you too.
I'm gonna drag you back down now.
Gotcha.
I'm stealing you, Leo. You're the last person I have to interview.
All
right, so team captain for Toronto Defiant, you were leading the team for the first 2 or 3 maps until Kid got here. How did you feel you guys did, knowing that the first map you lost on Control, and then you end up losing Eichenwald, which I believe was third map? Did you guys feel that you were on the verge of getting rolled, being down 2-1, or did you feel that you guys had it and could have made something of it even without it being in that situation?
Honestly, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that any of us ever really thought we were gonna get rolled. Like, I think we still always thought, oh, we got this. Like, it doesn't matter, we lost the first one, we got the second one.
Yeah.
So I think we were still in that mindset.
Perfect. Going into the game, knowing London from last season, I don't think a lot of their roster changed at all, and your team coming into this season after week 1, did you feel that you were in a situation where you might have gotten rolled, or did you feel that your team has worked together so well in the offseason and leading up to this point that up against London, having the same amount of time dealt between you, that the game was completely even going into the start? Like, could you have called that your team would have rolled London at the very start, or did it flip the other way? Or did you think you guys were tied 50-50?
I think, and I mean, I thought this from the beginning too. I thought it was going to be a close game. Seeing just how much Toronto has done on the offseason, just the roster swaps we've made, the practices we've done, we've gained a lot in this offseason. So I think I never thought we were going to get rolled.
Well, that's perfect. It's always good to know that you know, as team captain and as players of the team, you never think you're in that position to get rolled. You guys are going up against NYXL next week, from what I've heard from Kid. Knowing who is on NYXL, or knowing NYXL's, knowing they were champions from last season, do you think that you guys have a chance against them next week, or are you just gonna wait and see what happens? Like, do you have any kind of, you know, feelings about the game before it happens, knowing that it's a week away, and you haven't practiced for it at all? At this point in time, against what's happened against London, do you think you can beat NYXL going into next week?
Well, I definitely think it's going to be one of our harder games that we're going to be playing this season, but I think we do have a chance. I mean, we're probably going to spend, I know I'm going to set some up, just practices where we're looking at the things that NYXL has done and just how can we beat this, what can we do. Because pretty much every week so far we've been coming up with just different strats. So I'm hoping we can do something like that for next week as well.
Perfect. Going into your strats, the pulled pork combo, the Orisa Hog that people like to run, is that something you guys like to run a lot of the time, or is it just something you pulled out specifically for this match, knowing that you could run it against London?
Well, in our games and practices, we haven't played that much Hog, but our tank players do play Hog in their quick plays and their comp. So we knew we've had it available. So, I mean, yeah, we knew that we could do it, and it would work.
So it's just one of the cards that you guys have as an ace up your sleeve if you need to pull it out.
Kind of.
Perfect. All right. Unfortunately, I only got to interview one member of London, and I've gotten like 4 members from Toronto because they all decided to bail. But if you had to pick one person on your team who's played in the series, all 5, you know, they could have played for any minuscule amount of time. Any members of the game on your team who managed to play, if you had to pick an MVP, who would it be and why?
Honestly, for this game, I would say probably Clue. I think he was able to do a lot, especially he's been working on his McCree. Like, we know he's a good Junkrat already, but he's been working insanely hard on his McCree, and he was able to obviously show it off. He got some really good ults, were able to make some good picks. So I say because of that, I'd say him.
All right, perfect. Thanks for sticking around for the interview. I believe that's all I have for this stream, so I don't have anybody left to interview, unless anybody left on Toronto wants to do it. You can go down and ask if you want, but I'll wait like 30 seconds and see if anybody else wants to do it before I end up calling. All right.
Me.
Sure.
Wasn't I supposed to get
I'll do
interviewed?
another one.
Okay.
Leo, tell them me. Tell them covered up.
Alright.
Wait, you didn't
And Gizmo.
Gizmo,
You weren't even there.
What's up, Covert?
Oh, what's up?
All right. Interview Toronto Defiant. All 5 maps. Did you? Okay. First off, did you end up playing all 5 maps? I
Yes,
believe that
I
you
did.
did. Okay. So, my question to you, just as a player, why did you end up swapping so much? Were you being asked to, or were you making those changes on your own?
For which maps?
Well, I mean, for all of them. I mean, if I want to bring up one where I have the most recollection, Busan, second
Oh, God.
round. I saw that
Oh,
you
God.
swapped between
I was-
like 3 or 4 heroes, but you never managed to get an
Okay,
ult off.
On Busan, that was I choked so hard. I gotta be honest. I let
Be
the,
honest. That's
I
all
let,
I'm here to hear for.
yeah,
I just want the honest part.
I let the fact that we were down and my mentality kind of shifted, and you know, in my head, mentality, it was like, oh God,
Yeah.
I kind of panicked a bit, and I didn't know what to play because my Hanzo wasn't really getting much value, I felt like, and I couldn't play Doomfist because they were either running May or McCree constantly. I couldn't do Pharah, and I just kept switching between multiple things. A couple times, actually no, I think once or twice, once I swapped, I was told to just go back or to not swap. So that's why. But yeah, that last map was a bit unfortunate for me.
That's all right. Everybody needs to work on their confidence level in some of these games. You end up in
Yeah.
this situation where these games end up feeling more. You feel more pressure than you would in an original comp game because while you would only have your normal SR to give up at that point, you're playing for points and you're also playing for wins. So
Yeah.
playing for that 5th map would have gotten you guys 1 point if you won and 1 win if you won, and you only lost 1 point if you lost
Yeah.
and lost the so. And it's only the second week, so while at
Yeah.
this point, don't try and stress yourself out too much about the overtime maps. I mean, they happen, but you got to just play the game, play what you're good at playing at that point, because overtime you know exactly what's at stake, and if you don't make it count, then it's not going to count. It's the make or break point. So while it is stressful, don't let it get to you too much.
It wasn't the fact that it's a map 5, because I've been in plenty of map 5s in this league. I think it was literally just the fact that in my head I kept saying to myself for some reason that, oh God, the only viable pick I can probably do here is either Hanzo or Doom, and both of those have been getting countered the entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so interesting question. Knowing the patch that's coming up that's going to nerf Orisa, nerf Sigma, buff McCree, and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
I believe that's next week, but I could be wrong. But if you think about the league, think about your team, after that patch, what do you think you guys are going to be ended up running normally?
Ooh, I can't say honestly. That's an interesting question. I have an idea of what we could be running. I kind of want to keep that,
No, that's completely fine. I mean, those are team strats. Those are completely up to you.
Yeah, obviously McCree is going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if he's going to be meta. I definitely think Ryan Saria / Dive is going to be a lot more viable. I don't know if it'll necessarily be meta, but other DPS that come to mind, obviously McCree, Tracer is going to be pretty good. Reaper is going to get nerfed into the ground. May probably still be viable because she's, not getting nerfed at all. But there's a lot of different things we could run. I have a lot of stuff that I personally want to run. Like, for example, that, I don't know if you saw, but that Doomfist flank on Eichenwald, where I went over the rooftops and around the right side.
Yeah, that's a staple of Eichenwald, to be completely honest. Yeah. A lot of Dooms run that.
Yeah, I hadn't run it in a league game before because I haven't played Doom much. But Doom is, probably one of my better heroes, so I figured I'd go for that. Stuff like that, little tiny strats like that, or how last week against Shanghai Dragons we ran that Symmetra May strat on the first point of Paris when we walled over and teleported. Little stuff like that, but we haven't really figured out what we're going to be doing
Did I lose you? Oh, I guess he lagged out. Did he lag out? Did he get pulled? I don't know. Thanks, WTB18, for the follow. Thanks, man.
Here.
Did you pull Covert?
No, I accidentally left.
This is all good. All right. Does anybody else want a shot at an interview before I close?
I'll
this
do
out?
another one.
Gizmo.
No, Gizmo.
Sure, why not?
I'll pull a Meebo.
I can tell you how my support placements went.
All right. Where did Meebo go? Where did Meebo go?
Okay,
Gluttony, I can show you how my support placements went.
That's all right.
Did I-
Gizmo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I pulled him in and he fucking left. I don't know. So.
No. His Discord sometimes glitches whenever he gets pulled into
Gluttony, you
chat.
can
So you have to
Ah,
private call.
okay.
You can put me
Just
in
call
for a
him, call
second
him.
interview.
It's all right. I've gone on for I don't know how many minutes here, so I think
What
I
happened?
I tried to pull you into another chat. I think I might have crashed you if I'm being completely honest, Amiibo.
Yeah, phone Discord's trash.
It's all right. I'm gonna call the interviews here. Thanks guys for coming out. Thanks for sticking around. Well, hold on for what?
Gluttony, real quick. I just want to tell you this so I don't have to message you later and forget.
Okay.
Coach says the JV team, we're not doing a thing for that tournament, so do you maybe want to be on?
For
I
what?
know you signed up for the Midland thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess JV, we're not signing up together, and I know you're a free agent.
I'm up forever. I put it up in the free agent, so I give you more of a definitive answer at another point, but yeah, I'm up for whatever. So.
Sweet, awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks for the interviews. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you have a great night.
Wait, can you tell me I'm a good Junkrat one more time?
Just rewatch.
Feeding off your
Just
praise.
rewatch the stream. You'll feel it. You don't even need me to tell you. So.
I mean, Clue, I said some things as well. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind rewatching it. Then I could see why it's so good, so I can understand it more.
All right, guys.
'cause then I can
Have a
improve
great
on
night.
it.
I'll see you later.
Yeah,
See ya, Glut.
See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out. I was doing interviews after the Spitfire win over the Defiant 3-2 in overtime. Yes, you did miss it 38. I'm sorry about that. But I think what I'll do is I'll end up highlighting the interview at the end, posting that to YouTube, and then posting it to the mock Overwatch League so that people can listen to the interview. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. I apologize for my stream dropping a shit ton of frames that I can't seem to fix, and I have no idea why. But hopefully I can get that fixed and for the next time. Thanks for coming out. Let me turn the webcam on. So thanks for coming out tonight. Peace.